What's going on YouTube? This is Out the Blue 40 with another Melanated Sports Media. What a start to the NBA. What a start to the NBA. Man, this is something I really wasn't expecting. A lot more deeper teams. A lot of players that caught me by surprise. But all in all, man, it's the NBA. I know it was just the first week, so we'll see how it rolls. Um, Man, I want to get into Russell Westbrook coming out 2 triple doubles out of 3 games. Probably should have had 3 triple doubles if a couple more shots would have dropped it. I think in that first game, um, a lot of improvement over the first 3 games with OKC as far as ball movement, a balance, and shooting in any attack. I was really impressed out of Roberson. Ran a couple of pick and roll plays without turning the ball over. I think something that he definitely has to work on, though, man, is his handle. I was really disappointed earlier. A couple of times he got caught out in the open court and couldn't handle it at all. At least have your strong hand, man. You got to be able to at least get the ball up the floor with at least your strong hand. But he struggled with that. Anyways, I think Sabonis, man, the rookie, as I thought so. He struggled I'm quite sure you caught it in my first video. He struggled significantly on defense. He had a lot of trouble, especially with Julius Randle, and with us getting ready to play against the Clippers. There's no way he can guard Blake Griffin, man. So, like I said, man, in the first video before the season started, he's got to come off the bench, man, and learn behind the Ilyasova and a Canner. There's no reason for him to be pushed out there in the fire. Defensively, he can't really help us. He showed some promise on offense. I don't want to get too hard on him, not down on him or anything, but with what we need right now on the court, that's not it. I don't think his shot has gotten consistent or confident enough right now for us to play him the minutes that he's been playing. They took him out. We didn't really use him as much last game, but as far as us getting ready to play against the Clippers, I'd like to see either Jacques Laverne or Ilyasova in the starting lineup. I also think, man, we got to get Alex O'Brien some minutes, man. Man, this dude Abrines is not getting the minutes that I think he deserves. I think he showed lights out shooting, and you gotta have shooting around Oladipo and Westbrook. I think that's probably been a little bit of the struggle with us going into overtime, and also being in a tight game with the 76ers the other night. It's been a little bit crowded on the floor. It's been hard to get that pick and roll to Adams, and I think bringing in Alex Abrines to stretch the floor out with an Ilyasova, I think that helps out. I think with the defensive presence that Oladipo and Westbrook brings along with Adams, I think that makes up for whatever you think you might be lacking in Abrines and in Ilyasova. And Ilyasova is not a bad defender at all. Excellent positional defender. He really knows how to take the correct angle, excellent in taking a charge. Surprised me the other night with a block, something I really wasn't expecting to see, but he did get it. And he's been providing some excellent shooting. Struggled last game, but the couple of games before that, very impressive. Kyle Singler is killing me right now, killing me. He came out first game, hit a 3, and he hasn't hit one, I don't think, since. Not shooting with the same amount of confidence that he was shooting with when he came into the season. It seems like he's starting to actually try to aim, and that's going to be a problem. He's been doing pretty good on defense. He was stronger with the ball the last game, but he's going to have to pick up his shooting. He's going to have to. He's getting left wide open, and it's costing us possessions. And but besides that, man, Oladipo has been very impressive. I'm expecting Adams to pick it up a little bit more. I think just coming into the season, I think we're a little bit rusty. You can see it in our free throw shooting. I think we've been missing a lot more free throws than what we would usually miss. So I think our free throw shooting to pick up. Hopefully our 3-point shooting to pick up a little bit more, which we've been doing actually pretty good. But we gotta get Alex Abrinas in. We gotta get Alex Abrinas in the game, man, more and more, especially when Westbrook and Oladipo is out there. Canner's been looking real good. Looks like he lost some weight. Looks real light. Been playing pretty solid defense. Not too bad. He struggled. I think it was our second game. Yeah, against the Suns, he struggled. But we was able to bring in Jacques Laverne. And he was able to settle us down. Gave us big minutes. He was also able to give us big minutes last night against the Lakers. Very impressive win. Um, like I said, especially against a young, hungry, well-coached Lakers team that has been playing pretty impressive. Like I said, man, overall, it's just the first week. I gotta give them an A. I won't give them the A plus because I need the ball to move a little bit more, but I will give them at least an A for going 3-0. We moving on into this next week, which is going to be a real tough week. We got the Clippers and Golden State in a back-to-back on the road. This is a good chance for us to see exactly where we are as a team, more so defensively and offensively. But like I said, I think trusting in the offense that Billy Donovan has set up for us, I think we'll be in good shape to win any game. Playing deep, especially with the intensity on defense that we've been playing with, that'll definitely keep us in the game. And if we're in the game, Westbrook could bring us home. I think that's been proven. So, not really too much concern. We'll see. Like I said, man, we'll see what's going on. I really like to see us pull off a Rudy Gay trade a little earlier in the season if we can, rather than later. But like I said, we'll see exactly where we stand after these next couple of games this week. The Indiana Pacers have kind of struggled a little bit out of the box. I'm not worried about them. I think they'll be okay. I think a lot of it just has to do with chemistry. Teague just kind of, I think, trying to find exactly when is the right moment to attack, getting the right balance. Also, I think they're going to have to get on a string defensively, figure out a way to crank it up because that's really where they're going to, I think that's where the calling card is going to be, is really when they get after it on defense and run and get out into the open court. Been very impressed with Miles Turner, man. Very impressed. He's took a huge jump this year. Paul George came out as expected. Jeff T hasn't really struggled. I just think as a team, I don't think he's captured the control of the team like I think he will as the season goes on. Thaddeus Young, looking to he's been getting in the mix pretty well, along with Al Jefferson. Been giving us pretty impressive minutes. I also like C.J. Miles, man. C.J. Miles shooting. He looks to be back on track. Had a pretty tough season last year, but he does look to be becoming a factor on this team. Like I said, I think the floor will be opened up a lot more for him this year with Teague and the addition of Thaddeus Young, and especially in the elevation of the game of Miles Turner. So I think they'll get a lot of great shooting, and plus they're gonna need it, man, with losing Solomon Hill. I think that was a major loss, but I think he can get it done, and I also think the Pacers can get it done. So I look for them to pick it up within this second week. We'll see. Moving on to the Los Angeles Lakers. They was very, very impressive, especially with the poise they've been showing on defense. The additions of Luol Deng. Also, Timothy Mozgov has seemed to have been able to settle him down. Swaggy P has been playing pretty under control, knocking down his shot, not making as many of the mental mistakes as you might have been used to in years past. I think D'Angelo Russell is showing himself as a point guard, somebody that they can really rely on. I think he's becoming a very consistent player. Jordan Clarkson, I wasn't expecting to see him coming off of the bench, but he's been very impressive coming off of the bench. It seems I'm not sure how much he likes it, but from what I've seen in this game, he looks to have embraced the role of being able to come in and get his shot whenever he wants to. Also, they've been bringing Brandon Ingram off the bench. He's brought up his aggressiveness, and the more I think I've seen, the more aggressive that he's played, the better the team has looked. Um, Also with Julius Randle has really stepped up his game. He's been finishing around the rim a lot better. Um, I think a little settling a little bit too much. Still a little indecisive in the open court, but I think that'll gradually get better the more he gets coached through it. I think Luke Walton. I think the team is in good hands with Luke Walton. I think he has them going in the right direction. The Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz also not as impressive with the record, but I think as far as their actual gameplay, just watching them, I think they've been very impressive, especially seeing how they're missing Gordon Hayward, arguably their best player. Also, Alec Burke coming off of the bench. I think that's probably their best bench player, a possible six-man of the year this year. Somebody to look out for. So I think with them missing those two, George Hill getting accumulated, Joe Johnson being very aggressive. They've been looking pretty good. Derek Favors just got back. He's looking to settle in pretty nice. He had I think about 15-9 the other night. Rudy Gobert has been looking excellent. It's looking like some real chemistry developing between him and Boris Diaw. Boris Diaw looking to find him every time he catches it for that high-low pass. Just like I was pretty much expecting, that he would bring that big-to-big passing that he used in the Spurs to help them win championships. I figured he would bring that over to the Utah Jazz. Like I said, man, George Hill has been playing aggressive, pretty much out of his mind. I mean, as usual, I mean, the ultimate professional, you'll get games out of him where he's going to play great. He's not going to hurt you, not going to lose any games, but he can win a few games for you also. So, George Hill has been very impressive. Dante Exum, I've been impressed, man, with his length and size and his quickness. Also, his ability to handle the ball. I think in a couple of years he's gonna be a real tough cover. We'll see if he's able to take over that starting point guard role before the year is out, or at least coming in next season. Nothing against George Hill, but I just think Dante Exum, with his size, length, and athleticism, I think he has ability to be a next level player. So keep your eye out on him. Rodney Hood has gotten off to a formidable start. I look for him to elevate his game a little bit more, especially once they get Gordon Hayward back and Alec Burke. I think they're going to be just fine, especially Joe Johnson to be able to move back to the bench and bring that game that he's been having to help out the reserves. I think they're going to be just fine. Trey Lyles, as much as he impressed me during the preseason, he hasn't started out the best coming into the season. But I think I look to see him get it together before the season. Now I think it's a new group. I think he's getting used to accumulating the veterans, and I think once he gets accustomed to that, I think he'll settle down, start knocking down more of his shots, being able to get to his spot a little bit more. But otherwise, he's been playing pretty good defense, doing a pretty good job of rebounding, bringing some energy off the bench. So overall, I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen out of Utah. Look to see more once they able to get all of their horses back. Also, Minnesota Timberwolves, also another team that struggled. They've been they've looked also impressive, not showing it on the record as much. But as far as the defense, I believe that they've been playing some hard-nosed defense. I think they've part of the problem is they haven't figured out really how to finish the games. They're gonna have to figure out what kind of plays they could either go to or who it is that's gonna get it done down at the end of the stretch, and also get somebody on the court who can make some plays defensively down the stretch. A couple of costly mistakes have cost them a couple of close games over this first week, but I still see a lot of upside with them. I look to see them, man, improve over the next couple of weeks. But like I said, I have to keep my eye out for them. Also, getting in. Oh man, I can't even forget, man. I gotta mention Samaj Christie, man. Samaj Christie. I told you, man. I told you this man was gonna come out, provide full court pressure. He hasn't shot in the ball also impressively, but he's been shooting it with confidence. He hasn't hesitated. He's keeping it simple. Drive, pass, or shoot. You know what I'm saying? He's just keeping it real simple and playing some hardcore defense. Hardcore defense. Like I said, I've been very impressed with him disrupting things. I think, man, we might have ourselves a little depth lineup of our own. The little lineup I seen with Westbrook, Roberson, Oladipo, Samaj Christie, and Adams. I think, man, that might be a pretty dangerous group. Also, real scrappy. We got a lot of rebounding out there. Not a lot of shooting. Not a lot of shooting at all, but I think if we just want to turn it up and get the running, I think that might be a lineup that can work for us also to disrupt a lot of people, especially when they go small. But anyway, man, moving on. I have been checking out the Atlanta Hawks. I was really impressed. Been really impressed with Dwight Howard. That addition of Dwight Howard, Dennis Schroeder has had a pretty decent start. Not bad. He's been pretty much taking command of the offense. Trying to accumulate Dwight Howard in. I'd like to see him get a few more touches, but overall, I think it was an excellent pickup. I think he's made him a much better team, a much better defensive team, also rebounding. I look for Atlanta to be a pretty high seed in the East. Look out for them to make some noise. Howard's always been one of LeBron James's kryptonites. So if the team is playing well, shooting well, especially and Howard is rebounding and playing and defending the rim the way he can at an elite level, especially if they can keep him healthy come playoff time, I think the Atlanta Hawks is also another dangerous team in the East. The Knicks was very impressive. Derrick Rose looks very, very, very good. I'm not gonna say he looks all the way back, but he's been finishing pretty well at the rim. I've been seeing a little bit of explosion, being able to lock his man down on defense, disrupt things, but mainly, man, just getting into the seams, man, and finishing around the rim being the most impressive thing for me. I look for them as a team to get a little bit more acquainted with each other, get a little bit more comfortable. I think things will get better, especially with the bench. I think they just got to get a little bit more time to play each other. But also, I think they got 3 stars now, so there's no reason for the bench not to have either a Melo, Noah, or a Porzingis out there at all times, or at least a Rose. But mainly those 3 with a Brandon Jennings. Especially, I'd like to see a little bit of a high pick and pop with Porzingis and Jennings. I think that could be a dangerous matchup, for a dangerous play for them to run. They look pretty good in late game situations. Melo, of course, bringing them home. Defensively, they've been bringing it. I've been impressed really with the overall effort of them. Righteously, Noah has elevated these guys on defense. I think he's holding everybody accountable, just like I expected, along with Courtney Lee. And I think even Melo has had to make sure he didn't strapped on his boots and and buckled down on defense. So I've been very impressed. Noah, one of the underrated pickups this season. Also, another team, man, to look at is the Spurs, man. It's gonna be a tough MVP race this year. I noticed that. I think right now I'm still giving Westbrook the edge with the 50-point triple double and the fact he got 2 out of the first 3. Um, but Kawhi Leonard, man, Kawhi Leonard is looking like the man right now. I mean, he's looking like the man. I heard that he worked out with Kobe Bryant over the summer, and it looks like it. It really shows. He's getting to his spots with confidence, giving them the rock, the pump fake, the quick little fade, and it's going in. He's not even thinking about it. Right now, he's been playing unconscious. He's locking down on defense, of course, like he always does. I mean, he ain't the claw for no reason. Literally just snatching the ball out of people's hands. I mean, grabbing the ball off the backboard, taking it to the other side, and just dunking it in. Leonard has been a problem, man. 3-point shooting, I look for that to pick up, him to get back up to the mid 40s, pretty much like he was last year. I think he was second or third place last year in 3-point shooting. I think at about 44%, 45. I looked for him to get right back to about that spot. I like the way they've been working him in the pick and roll. Been very impressed with Jonathan Simmons. Somebody I almost forgot about. How could I? I mean, this guy came in ready. He had an excellent summer league, also preseason, and he was very, very impressive. One of the main things that impressed me though, man, really is his shooting. I knew what he could do, as far as around the basket finishing and defensively, with his athleticism, but he's been shooting the ball, man. His development has been spectacular, man. He's been shooting the ball very well. Also, his ball handling improved a lot over the year. I look to see that improve dramatically, man. They got a nice core nucleus there, man. With him, I believe. Also, man, you can't forget about Green, hurt right now. But Kawhi, Aldridge, man, I think that is real nice. Paul Gasol has been struggling a little bit. I think it's a new system for him. I think it's much like how Aldridge struggled last year when he first came in. I think it'll take him some getting used to. But he is a smart player, excellent passer. A lot of that's been showing. He's been able to knock down a couple of threes. So I look to see Paul Gasol get more comfortable and familiar with the with Pop's system in the Spurs way. And I look for the Spurs to make a lot of damage this year. I think they're a problem for Golden State, especially if Golden State keeps their lineup the way it is. I mean, they're just gonna have to bring in somebody because David West ain't getting no younger. Pachulia, nobody respects Pachulia. I mean, seriously, you're just asking for it with Pachulia down there. There's nobody coming off of the bench. I don't even understand who are some of these guys. I mean, Ian Clark. Don't get me wrong. I like Ian Clark, but come on. Who's the other guy? McCall. I mean, Kevin Looney. They gotta let it go, man. That's not gonna work out. There's no way that's gonna work out. I don't even understand it. I guess you just thought you were just gonna get 4 of the best players in the NBA, or top players in the NBA, and just put a bunch of scrubs around them. That's not gonna happen, man. I can tell you that much right now. That's not gonna cut it at all, man. Unless they go, they got some kind of Gatorade glitch or something like that, man. They can play the whole game. I don't see that happening. So I see Golden State struggling this year, man, a lot, righteously, especially with teams that are going to be able to take advantage of their size, lack of rebounding, and also teams that aren't going to be scared, man, ready to come in, knock down their shots. So we'll see how they do against the elite teams. But, of course, they're going to beat up probably, which they're not even really doing a good job of beating up on the lesser teams. But, I mean, as the season goes on, I look for them to probably beat up on the lesser teams. But I think they're going to struggle with the more elite teams. We'll see when they play the Clippers, also when they play us. Like I said, we got both of them in a back-to-back this week, so it's a tough week for us, meaning OKC. Um, Also, uh, DeMar DeRozan, man, on fire, coming out playing with a lot of confidence. Got a lot of money this year, also. So he's been shooting the lights out. I look for Kyle Lowry to pick his game up. Uh, Tough loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, Looking right now to be on another level, but they're playing with also a lot of confidence. Um, Coming off of this championship. So that it is going to be tough to knock them off their throne, but I think it can be done. There are a lot of teams. I think there are more teams than people think that can knock Cleveland off in the East. And I think as the season progresses, I think we'll see more of those teams begin to take form and come out the light. Um, like I said, I think chemistry is going to be a big factor this year. So I look for it more so in the next couple of months, man, really to see really where teams are then. I think that's where a lot of the impressions is going to be made once everybody gets settled in, because there's a lot of new faces everywhere, man, and a lot of the teams are running systems, new coaches, and all kind of things, man. So uh, it's going to take some getting used to. I think we'll see a lot better basketball out of teams like the Pacers, even the Knicks, um, uh, Toronto, man. Once they get Jared Sellinger back, I really do look to see what they can do then. Also, that was somebody that they was missing, providing a lot of stress shooting and taking some pressure off of Patrick Patterson. Um, Also, I think the Timberwolves will get better as they get used to the system. As the season goes on, um, not too much sure about the Memphis Grizzlies. The Chicago Bulls have really surprised me. Really handling business every night. It seems like getting a lead. I know a lot of people thought shooting would be the trouble, but the way they're engaging in defense, man, it does it doesn't even matter, man. They look like the Heat back when LeBron teamed up with these boys, man, and I mean. Just getting after it on defense and running in the break, man, and that's tough to stop. They look very, very committed, and we know what type of player Jimmy Butler is and what he can bring on the defensive end of the floor. Also with Dwayne Wade and Rondo, Taj Gibson, no scrub on the defensive end. Robin Lopez, formidable center. Real long and length, excellent rim protector. If you ask me, I take him on my team. Um, so man, they've really impressed me, man. Really with not so much, and it's not. I expected the defense to be elite, but it's really just, man, how well they've been able to play offense, sharing the ball very well, elevating the play of Isaiah Cannon and McBuckets, Dougie McBuckets, or McDermott, and also, even Miritich, man, putting on the floor a little bit more this year and finishing around the rim, which is something that I thought he had in his game. I just thought he had been struggling, thinking a little bit too much the last couple of years. So I look for Miritich really to become a serious threat, provide the stretch shooting that they need, also that veteran presence. He's been in the league long enough. Been a clutch player over there in Europe. I think he's now used to the speed of the game. So I look to see a lot more out of Miritich this year. I think you can expect a lot more scoring also. But overall, man, very impressed though with the Chicago Bulls, man. The Dwayne Wade pickup and Rondo, man, it looks a lot better every game. We'll see how that goes on as the season prolongs. Like I said, man, this is only week 1. Um, I'll be moving on. We'll see exactly what else we can get into in the next video. We'll see how the teams produce next week. What should I say? As this week prolongs, like I said, man, keep your eye out on some of the young studs. Dante Exum. Look out for the Utah Jazz. Um, uh, root for the Thunder, man. Hopefully, man, we can get it done, get this ball movement. We got a tough week ahead of us. I truly believe we can get over the hump, but we got to do it together. We got to commit on defense, and we got to stay calm and ready. Um, this is Out the Blue 40 coming at you with Melanated Sports Media. I'll be coming at you with another segment.